Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and today it's me putting Max from the Whitehead group in the hot seat. It's a bit of a hectic time for employment law, and Max, can you give us a bit of a rundown? What's the skinny here? What we're seeing, we've heard about a bunch of changes that have come through, but what's the story? Are all our Uber drivers now on staff?
Well, pay attention to Dave and take this right. So here we go. So what's happened very quickly is that the new government, they've killed the fair pay agreements, which I'm very pleased about. The 90-day trial period's been extended to not just small employers, to larger employers. The minimum wage is now going to go at a gentle pace, not the huge pace it went to last time, which I think they doubled it in the 6 years they were there. And by the way, the minimum wage now is at $23.15 per hour. So just to keep there up to date with that. Now, what's interesting, Dave, is that the minister, Brooke Van Deldum, she's made some promises, pretty hefty ones in terms of what's coming up. So first off, she said the highest priority, well, she did a couple of weeks ago, was the Holidays Act. So that desperately needs some changes, Dave. And really, it's been promised for decades. And all sorts of governments have promised to change it and never did. It's not going to be an easy job.
From a payroll perspective, it's one of the things we often see is businesses screwing up holiday pay, and really through no fault of their own. It is ridiculously overcomplicated. So I'm not unhappy to hear that's
Well, look,
that's up for.
frankly, it's outdated because it's made from 8 to 5 jobs, which who works them anymore? Very, very few. So it's going to be changed, I hope, to the betterment. Now, the last government did put a proposal out, and I believe a draft went out. I never actually saw it. And it just really was ridiculously hard for employers, and it really was over generous to employees. So this one will be hopefully more balanced in that regard. Now, the next thing she's promising is some radical changes to the Health and Safety at Work Act. Now, that really does cost an enormous amount of money for people to comply, just to comply. And is it saving lives? And she's saying, no, it's not. It's hours and hours and hours of extra work, extra documentation, extra bloody signage up, extra this and that. But really, is it saving lives? No, we're still losing lives. And we're still double that of Australia.
I was just about to say, yeah, the stats are that we're well behind Australia, so clearly, and the UK as well. So clearly, we've got some work to do there, and hopefully, it's not more paperwork.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I used to be the health and safety manager for Auckland City Council, and all it was about doing is ticking boxes, getting the bit of paper, putting it in a drawer, and forgetting about it until the next time someone did an audit. I mean, really, did that achieve much? And do these workers really know what's required of them? Because they got to take responsibility themselves, and that's what's been missing here. Because it all lands back on, and rightly so, but right up to the chief executive, who personally can be held accountable and can't insure himself against it, by the way, either. So it's pretty draconian in many ways, but it's also very complicated. Hey, Dave, the other thing that's going to be happening is she's promising to also simplify it for contractors. Now, there's been a change of those people who are aware that the courts have dealt with the Uber drivers situation and said that they're employees. Now it's been dealt with at the Court of Appeal. Now it's going to the Supreme Court. Now that's the highest court of the land. That will have dramatic impact, and of course, worldwide, that the status of workers in Uber is really, really catchy, and that's going around the world. So that'll have a huge impact on all of us who engage contractors. Are we going to have to pay them holidays? Are we going to have to do this and take responsibility for a lot more of it? So that will be another factor.
I certainly think a bit of clarity around that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not necessarily thinking that anyone, well, that I would want to rush out and be an Uber driver. But at the same time, like yourself, I've got contractors working for me. So be very curious as to how this is going to pan out. But I mean, I think from my perspective, it seems that a big move to businesses choosing contractors over taking staff on is around some of the complexities of employment law. Any chance that that's going to be looked at the same time?
Well, yes, he's going to look at the Employment Relations Act and try and simplify some of that as well. So simplify the Holidays Act, simplify the Health and Safety at Work Act, and simplify the personal grievance process. I'm a little bit shaky about because I've heard the rumours where they're going to be looking at it, and I'm not sure they're on the right track there. But it's a matter of wait and see. But man, these are big promises. Whether they're carried out in the next 3 years, we'll have to wait and see. But she seems to be a go-and-getter, but she's a new minister. So we'll just wait and see how this lands. And you're right about contractors. The reason employers would prefer contractors is to get away from the complexity of employment law. It's hell.
Well, that's a really fantastic update, Max. Thank you ever so much. I've learned a hell of a lot from this. So thank you very much. Till next time.
Till next time, Dave. See you then. Ciao.